Welcome to the Elevate podcast. This series focuses on elevating and inspiring women and girls into or to remain in the tech sector from the classroom to the boardroom. I'm Kellie Kwarteng, founder and CEO of Helzac and host of the show. Welcome to Elevate Women in Tech podcast, where we highlight influential voices in technology and explore the opportunities and challenges that women face in these fields today. Today we have the privilege of speaking to Grace Oleyinka, tech lead at Niyo Group and a highly accomplished tech leader, software engineer, thought leader in emerging technologies like blockchain, AI and AR and VR, passionate advocate for diversity in tech, author of 2 books and cohort 2 mentor on the Elevate Women in Tech, DecodHER Leadership Mentor Program. Grace, it's an absolute honour to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Well, to start the episode, it would be great to give our audience an overview as to who you are and what it is that you do within the tech space.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I like to introduce myself as a technical leader because I've been in the tech space for a long time, over 7 years now, and tech is actually a passion of mine. I love to do things in tech and to build amazing solutions with tech. And I'm impact driven. I love to impact people with my knowledge and with whatever I do, which has led me to I've trained over 4,000 people in the tech space, from young kids to adults, and also mentored people in business and in tech generally. And also has put me to speak in a wide range of events across 4 different countries, and also written books, right? I've written books on Web3, blockchain, and also how you can grow in your career in tech. I currently have a business, which is a fashion business. That's like another side of Grace, aside tech, which is into doing customized clothes for events, companies, and also individuals, majorly techies and creative. So if you are a techie and creative, definitely we are your go-to customized business for you. And currently, I'm a technical leader at Niyo Group, where we are building amazing products that is to empower women generally and also individuals that are looking to hop up their game in the tech space and in the business space.
Wow. I mean, where do we start? 4,000 people that you've trained, you've mentored. I know a couple of hundred people, I think it is, on the mentorship side. You've got your own business, you're a tech lead for Niyo Group. I mean, yeah, you're a global phenomenon within the tech space. So, like I said, honour to have you here today.
I'm also a recognized leader through Tech Nation here in the UK.
And for anyone looking to connect, we'll make sure that we share your details in the show notes, and obviously share details to the different businesses and the different things that you're involved with. So today's topic, obviously, the episode title is called DecodHER: Cracking the Code of Blockchain, AI, and AR/VR. It would be great for us to dive into the emerging tech areas that you specialise in, and if possible, what AI capabilities or applications you're most excited about for 2024 and beyond.
Okay, so moving to emerging tech. Emerging technologies are actually quite interesting, and particularly AI. I'm super excited about the advancement of AI and the potential that they hold in transforming the way we work generally. Personally, I've used AI for productivity and high performance. So I'm particularly excited about the progress being made in AI generated capabilities like the generative AI that we use today. Example is ChatGPT, right? And the ability for it to autonomously generate content that we need, make predictions, and even perform complex tasks is incredibly quite promising. And for example, imagine a scenario where AI algorithm can automatically generate reports for you, presentation, and even make content calendars, content table based on data that you input there and your preferences, right? This is actually like a very good potential that I see. And beyond 2024, we actually see AI being more sophisticated, actually being more used in our day to day, right? And we may see AI systems that can not only generate content alone, but also learn how we work, how humans work, how it can adapt in real time, leading to even greater productivity gains across like different industry. And that's where we start seeing robots that are human like and that can potentially start doing some things that humans can do. And that's basically the age of AI that we are all like moving and going into. But the ones that I'm really most excited about at the moment is the generative AI bit. And now we also see um some AI part. I saw Devin. It was about to be launched. It's for software engineers. Devin is a software engineer AI that can code your applications for you. And when that was announced, a lot of people were scared. What is going to happen to software engineers? What are we going to start doing and whatnot? And to be honest, Darwin is an amazing AI, which is very cool, but it cannot take the job of software engineers. The best thing that software engineers can do is to use Devin to make their work faster. Yes, it will make your work faster, but there is the creative aspect that humans only can do, and that is your job. And AI is definitely in the process, which we'll still talk about, and definitely still need humans to be able to operate it to perform the right tasks that it needs to perform. So yeah, AI is an interesting tech, and I'm really excited about what it has to bring in the nearest future.
Think that is one of the big concerns that everyone talks about. Are the robots going to take over the world and take us all out of jobs? And I think you articulated that so well. It's about making us be more productive and more efficient. I
Yeah.
don't think a robot really, there's not many things I think a robot would take over. There's that human element that's always going to be needed in all of the jobs. And like you said, software engineering, it's about being a more effective software engineer working at higher scale, higher pace and everything else. So yeah, it's amazing the potential that AI certainly has to transform countless industries. But there are concerns obviously about it replacing people. But one of the other big concerns around AI is around bias and the lack of diversity in how these systems are actually getting developed. So what are some of the major myths around bias in AI that need to be dispelled from your perspective?
All right. We were talking about AI replacing humans, and I wanted to just say that AI would replace you if you don't grow with AI, basically. So AI is just like every other technology that's been emerging right from tech started. And tech is an ever changing industry that you have to grow as it grows. You have to, be immersed in how the industry is growing. So you can only be replaced if, in quotes, you have not started gaining the knowledge that you need to be able to use AI to your advantage, basically. And in terms of biasness, that will lead me to um biasness. Oh, AI is biased, or some things that we need to debunk, right? The first thing is AI is biased because of the people behind it. And aside that, AI works with data. And if it is imputed with a biased data, definitely it will be biased. I don't know if you get that. So it is important to know that there is someone behind whatever. It's just like you say to AI now, or can you generate the list of countries in London? Right?
Yeah.
So that was the data you give it. And if it starts generating some places that you're like, what is this thing doing? I want the list of countries in the world. But you didn't say in the world, you said in London, basically. So it is the
Mhm.
data that is imputed into AI that makes it biased, not AI itself. So it is the people behind it. So we need to actually debunk that fact that, oh, AI is a bad technology. And also I hear a lot that is very dangerous. Personally, I say that because data is like pencil in the hand of AI. AI is more feeding on our data, and if there's no data, basically there's no AI, right? So in that
Yeah.
case, it is dangerous if the data is used for something dangerous. The tech itself is
Yeah.
not dangerous, but what it is being used for. And these are the things that we need to come to understand so that you can freely use the technology as you want. Because I've actually seen people not want to start going into AI because of dangerous or because of danger, but it is dangerous
Yeah.
based on how you use it. Also, like another myth that I think should be debunked is that AI is infallible and always makes the right choices. That's quite, you know, is technology. And that's one thing we need to understand. AI is technology, and a technology was created by human and is a machine, or even if it's not a physical machine, it's still a machine. I call my laptop my machine because that's what I used to work.
Yeah.
No matter how small it is still a machine for me, right? So definitely it is fallible. It can make mistake. It is not all knowing, or and it is all knowing because of the data on there. And if some of the data that you need are not being shared with you, that means it's not on there, right? So it is fallible. It can make mistake, just like how long you use your laptop and start developing faults. Yes, it is fallible. It can make errors, and there can be issues that comes with AI generally, right? And also, lastly, I would just like to say another myth that I think we need to debunk in terms of the biasness of AI is if we remove the biasness in AI, it is problem solved. But can we actually remove the biasness in AI? Is it possible? The thing is, I don't think so. Why? Because,
Yeah.
like I mentioned earlier, it is based on my data that AI works. So
Yeah.
that means you need to remove me to remove the biasness of AI, right? So that way, the biasness is not originated from the tech itself. It's originated from the origin, which is the person using it. And if the faster we know this, the better we are able to use the technology for what it's actually created for and for the benefit of what it is created for. Majorly, technologies has been created over the years. Phone is to be able to call your friends and family faster instead of having to write letters, right? That's what technology is for, to make our lives easier and to make our lives better. And that is what AI is also here for. So we can't exactly remove all the biasness. It will still be biased based on the data that is being inputted on it. And removing biasness means removing the people. And that's not still possible in a way. So remove biasness is not a problem solved. I think it's just a problem we have to live with. As humans, we always be
Yeah.
humans. Yeah.
I think that last comment you made around can we remove bias from AI? And I think your point is so key. It's about the origin. So unless we move bias from the world, which if we look at the world, it's one of those things that can we ever remove bias from the world? No, because it's people's lived experiences. But as long as we've got enough diverse perspectives coming into the build of the AI, then the data that's coming into it obviously is feeding it, I'm assuming, in a way that then can help give a more open perspective as opposed to just a one side or a one way of thinking. I agree. And that piece around diverse perspectives is keen to obviously helping to mitigate and reduce those biases within the field. And obviously, one of the big areas that has been spoken about is the lack of women that are entering the AI rank. What advice would you give to any young women today that are thinking, right, this is a career I'd like to pursue. I'd love to go down the route of getting into AI. It's this emerging piece of tech. I want to be at the forefront of what's the next thing that's coming along. but I just don't have any idea on how to start.
Okay, awesome. Personally, I would say the first thing is to believe that you can be in that space, because AI
Yeah.
in itself, artificial intelligence, sounds big, right? It sounds like, oh my God, this is deep tech. Right. And to be honest, I used to be that. Like, AI has been flying around before it blew up around last year. It's been flying around since. And I just see AI as, you know what? I'm not doing the big tech. Just leave me with my coding front end and I'm done. But now AI is something that a lot of people have started venturing into. So the first thing is to believe that you can be in that space. Believe that you can be a woman, you can do AI, you can write the model, you can write the code, you can do everything that needs to be done to actually be able to create an AI model or an AI solution in the space. After that is taken away, I think the rest is more of getting a mentor, someone that's been in the space. Let them guide you, right? Because it's very important. As AI is still emerging, it might be a lot for you to wrap your head around. You will see a lot of things. Which one should I go into? Generative AI, this or that? Which one should I move into? So it's very important that you have someone to guide. It might be quite hard to find a mentor, but at least you can ask questions. Ask people that have been in the space. Ask them question. Where can you start from? What should you do, right? And then another thing is to be curious and continuous learn continuously learn about the space. And this is not just particular to AI alone, it's particular to anything tech. Because tech is
Yeah.
evolving, and AI is not just evolving, it's like running, it's fast evolving. And I mean, we saw AI. Yeah, AI just started blowing up around when, and now we've seen a lot of solutions, a lot of organization using AI at the moment, a lot of businesses, a lot of everything start using AI. Now Meta added AI to their Facebook, I mean to their application, and that's how a lot of product companies start just imbibing AI. There's no product, especially if it's all these note-taking product, that you won't see AI. They'll tell you write with AI because it's really fast growing, right? So it's very important to stay ahead of the curve and stay ahead of the game to be able to know what is going on, what is being done. And that will be done by your research. Go for events. I mean, AI events. There are a lot of AI events now to just expose you to leaders in that space. So it's very important to go to events like this that can actually help you and build you up, right? And also, you can, lastly, for me, is more contribution. So, a lot of people believe you can't contribute except you are technical, right? But that's not true. There are a lot of things you can contribute to even if you are not technical. You can write about it. You can write in simple terms
Yeah.
for people to understand it. I know AI is still quite simpler than blockchain because people run away from blockchain and as it's very technical, right? But it's, you can contribute in different ways. Advocate for it, speak on it, you know, great programs, just like Kelly has done this podcast to just talk to people about AI. This is a way of she contributing in the AI space, right? And it's already there. So it's important for you to contribute as little as you can. Contribute to events, contribute to projects, contribute to companies, contribute any way you can contribute, you should contribute. And if you have actually looked at the different career paths you can have in AI, definitely you can start chasing in that regard, right? But you can be an AI person right from where you are and with whatever that you know at the moment. And the same thing I tell to people about blockchain is AI is a technology and you can be part of it by
Mhm.
just using the technology, either technically or
Yeah.
non-technically, right? Yeah, so
Perfect. Some great advice there. Sometimes I sit to myself and think, I'm non-tech. Obviously, I'm a supporter within the tech industry, but actually, and also, oh, I don't know anything about AI, and I don't know how I'm going to talk to people about AI. When actually, I probably use AI. Actually, not probably. I use AI on a daily basis to support with lots of different things
Mhm.
that I do, using ChatGPT to help me create content ideas or elaborate on ideas, research ideas as well. Obviously, you then have to make sure that what you're reading is actual truth and breaking that down. But you gave some great advice there for anyone looking to get into the industry, and just to look at it in its most simplest form is how can you contribute, what do you currently use within the space, and then the whole piece of actually entering and getting into it. So great
Yeah.
advice there for anybody that's listening in. um, Switching gears to another area you're experienced in, which is blockchain, and you've mentioned it a little bit throughout our conversation today. So, blockchain technology has been quite a buzzword in recent years. But what are some of the actual promising use cases listeners should be aware of um, with the blockchain technology?
Okay, awesome. Blockchain in itself is screaming security, and that is where I've been talking to people about. Now that we have the rise of AI, this is the best time we need blockchain. Why? Because we need more data security now than ever before, because anybody can take your data, use it with the help of AI to, do voice phishing, clone you, anything like as such, which is quite dangerous, right? So it's in this time that we have a lot of AI buzzword that I believe that we need blockchain the most, right? So now in terms of use cases, like I said, there are different features of blockchain, but the major thing is that it is decentralized, it is immutable, and it is quite secure. Immutability is part of the security. Why? Because it means that once you had something, it's quite hard for you to remove compared to the traditional way we had data at the moment. Can you hear me, Kelly?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All
I can
right, you
hear
were
you.
frozen, so I wanted to be sure. Okay, so compared to the traditional way we add data at the moment, someone can hack into the system, remove your data, add someone else's data, but with blockchain, that will be quite a lot. In fact, might be impossible in its sense. And that's one of the ways blockchain can help us secure our data. And in terms of use cases, I believe that it can be used for data security on any application or for any application, even in hospitals for data security. The way you have access to patient data, and anybody can literally, I can I watch movies a lot, and we see people just bribe nurses to get patient data for them, and all of those things. But with the help of blockchain, it might not be possible because you are the owner of your data. And if you don't give access to
Right.
your data, nobody will be able to access it, right? So it helps a lot in that regard. And there was a time I was speaking at Manchester blockchain festival that happened last year, and I was talking about how blockchain will be the one to revolutionize the age of artificial intelligence and VR and AR. All of this technology are like growing at their pace, but I believe the combination of the three of them will actually bring us the, productive world that we want, the secured world that we want, and the massive world that we want, right? And that is where all of these three comes in. Because with AI, your data, our data is gone. So with blockchain, our data is secured. That is
Right.
that is like different ways you can see it. And for me, the major use case I see for blockchain is data security. Personally, that is the major way I see it, because it's might be quite hard to actually add blockchain to different aspects of things, except when we now start thinking of NFTs, which talks about uniqueness. right? Non-fungible tokens. I know that we've heard that a lot, and the buzzword has gone down, and now AI is taking the reign and all of that. Those things will still come to be things that we will use, especially when it comes to the virtual world, when it comes to identity. Now, with our identity, we all know that someone can steal our ID card and use it. Basically, right? But when it comes to identity with NFTs, it's more secured, and that is with the help of blockchain, right? So, I mean,
Right.
um, with a lot of use cases flying around, the major use case of blockchain is security, which in this time and age, I believe, is data security for blockchain. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fascinating, and it's interesting how you mentioned there how the two worlds come together, and it's like you said, the AI race has just been huge. You also have a lot of expertise in the augmented and virtual reality technology realm as well, Grace. So, from your
Yeah.
perspective, how can AR and VR be applied in beneficial ways within the tech industry, especially for women?
Now, in terms of VR and AR, VR and AR brings about immersive experience, just like when you play video games. And I don't know if you've played video games before, Kelly, but I've played a video game
Yeah.
called GTA. And with GTA, it just almost seems as if I was talking to somebody. I mean, this is just a game, but it looks so real. There are cities, there are cars, there are dogs, just like I'm in the real world, right? And that's what AR and VR is helping us to do. And even though it has its downside, which means it might reduce human interaction as people will spend more time virtually, basically. And also that's what metaverse is also like bringing across. It's still similar to AR and VR. It might reduce human interaction, but it actually helps us. I was reading something about education recently. I mean, basically, and I came across an application called Frogipedia. And what Frogipedia does is to help students dissect frog virtually. Um, Help them with the naming of the intestine, the parts of the jaw, frog, the life cycle of the frog. You know what we are taught physically in school, and we are taught to dissect frog, and it looks so irritating. All of those things. You can definitely do that virtually without having to make your hands dirty of dissecting a frog
Yeah.
physically, right? So those are like the use case of education. I mean, that's the use case of augmented reality and virtual reality, especially in education. You don't need to go for excursion to see lions. You might literally just see it virtually and be in the comfort of your homes, right? It's just more of doing things at the comfort of your home, and you are exploring. That's majorly it. And that's why it got to a point that people started buying land on metaverse. People started spending more time with people in the metaverse. And there was the time that there was a fashion show in the metaverse. You know, a lot of these things will help improve how we see things. Yeah. And I believe that for every solution technology is solving, is creating another problem. That's how I see technology. So yeah, it's helping us do better, helping things work better. But another problem is creating is human interaction, which
Yeah.
I don't know what people have to start being intentional about interacting with themselves, right? But these things are quite exciting in terms of, if I don't want to do anything physically, I can literally do it virtually instead. Especially
Yeah.
operations, all of these things
Yeah.
can be done virtually. And
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and your insights around those three areas. One thing that I'd love to get your perspective on is for those non-technical listeners, those businesses that are looking to bring new technologies in, and particularly looking to bring in AI, blockchain. AR or VR or other emerging tech within to their organisations, what advice on how they can best take advantage of these innovations would you give for someone looking at it from a non-tech perspective?
Oh yes, definitely. I was talking to business owners recently, and they are not technical guys. But one thing I mentioned that they can use, technology is built or was built to be used, right? So, and then we have access to these things. ChatGPT has free version. So even if you don't want to pay for it, you can definitely use ChatGPT first for your business. You can use it for content creation. You can use it to, write proposals that can even land you, grants and all of those things. You can use AI for whatever you want to use it for, or for whatever use case that you want to use it for. And you don't have to be a technical person. It has been brought to us for experience. And you're not seeing all codes there. You're basically seeing just an input field, type in whatever you want to type, see your response, and
Yeah,
you're done, right? So that's one major way non-technical people can use AI. The technical guys are the ones that go in depth to use AI libraries, AI APIs to be able to build AI products. But you, as a non-technical person, you might not find yourself in that regard. But one way you can use it is to use already built AI products for your own advantage, right? And yeah, so that's one way I think non-technical persons people can basically use it. I remember this AI application, I've forgotten the name now, that allows you to convert your main picture to cartoon. And also you can even upload some of your pictures and tell it to generate office picture of you, wedding pictures of you. Do you know that people start making money from that? People basically start making money from that. Like, people that needs office pictures pay people that knows how to use AI to create office picture. I mean, those people are not
yeah,
technical also. They just learned how to use it and they start making money from it, right? So that's just how it is. You just need to learn the already built AI applications and see how you can use it for your advantage, either for your business or for your personal self. I mean, the most set of people that are currently benefiting from AI now, I would say, are writers, probably
100%.
content
Yeah,
creators,
creative.
creatives.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because it's basically helpful. Like, basically helpful. If you don't know what to post in a day, you can literally ask AI, as a designer, what are the things I can talk about to help my audience learn so, you know. And also, depending on the prompt that you write, some people might need to learn how to write chat GPT prompt to be able to give you the answer that you want,
yeah,
right? Sometimes when we ask AI questions, it answers like AI, but you can tell it to
yeah,
answer like a human. You can tell it to
yeah,
answer like, and I want it to see AI as a tool. So depending on how
yeah.
you use it for, that's the results that you get. So yeah, that's what I think basically.
Perfect. And I think, what I hear there is you've got to explore it. I think I was exploring some AI tech the other day. So obviously I podcast and just started putting some content out on YouTube. And I was looking to pull out some short form videos. And there's an AI bit of kit that you can get, and you put in your link for your YouTube video, and it will create you lots of different short form um, social media posts to put out on your different networks that you've got, rather than having to go through and take it out and snip it and edit it. It does it all for you. So yeah, it is about exploring. It's then just getting down and using it, giving it a
Yeah.
try. And I think the one thing you have to
Mhm.
do, that learning the prompts and learning how to speak to the AI, that's something that I've had to work on mass. And anyone that I speak to, it's, what are the good prompts? What are the prompts that are gonna get you the response that you want for whatever it is that you're doing? And then yeah, just learn with it as it grows. There's always some new bit of kit that comes out, and I'm completely fascinated that how did anyone even think that that is something that's needed? Then you use it and you're like, that just makes perfect sense. So yeah, completely agree with you on those areas. Explore, use and learn is what I take from that.
It's just more of continuous improvement and continuous usage. You know, there's this saying that practice makes progress. So the more you use it, the more
Yeah,
you are able to use it better for yourself and to suit your needs.
definitely. Love that. Practice makes progress. We're right at the end of the episode now. So, Grace, if you could share with us your top 3 pieces of advice for women looking to break into and succeed in fields like AI, blockchain, and emerging tech, what would those 3 top bits of advice be?
Advice. So, I mean, for me, number one is own up, go all in, and be confident. One thing about women in tech is that we are not very confident. We don't own up to things. And it's very important that we start owning up, we start showing up, and we start being confident about what we do, right? I know a lot of us face issues like what ifs, what if, what if not? You know, you can ask yourself, you know, there's that sound in our head. What if it doesn't work out? What if this is not it? What if I fail at this? What if I do this? What if you actually succeed at it? You know, while you look at the negative side, you can as well look at the
Yeah,
positive side. And if you look at the positive side, it will encourage you to go all in. The worst thing that can happen is failure. And failure in itself, they say, is part of success, right? So it's very important that we
definitely.
go all in, put in our all attention and attitude into it. And then secondly, for women is I think one thing I've learned is imposter syndrome is something that you have to deal with at every stage of your career. And there was a time I was speaking to women at International Women's Day, and I was like, I think when you keep feeling imposter syndrome, you should see it as a sign of growth, because at every stage of your career, when you keep going into higher level, you feel like you can't do it, right? So
Yeah,
when you keep feeling that imposter syndrome, it's just feel like, oh, I think I'm increasing in levels. That's why I'm feeling this at this stage. And you know, when we see the positive side to things, it will help us to manage it and contain it, right? So yeah, imposter syndrome exists, and I don't think it will fail to exist. You face imposter syndrome at every stage of your career. The higher you go, the more you face it. And it's just to show that you are doing well and you are doing awesomely
yeah,
well. And that's one thing that I love to tell people. You are doing well and you are doing awesomely well. So if as you grow, either in your career in AI, blockchain, or in tech generally, learn to appreciate your progress. And whatever you feel at each stage is a sign of growth, right? And then thirdly is to celebrate your wins. Celebrate
hmm
your wins. Don't be so on up to, oh, I've not achieved what I wanted to achieve. You know, I was reading a book. The title is The Making of a Manager by Julie something. She was the head VP of product in Facebook before she left. And she was like, studies says that if you write down 5 things you are happy about daily, you live happier. So it's very important that you celebrate your little wins, no matter how small. And as women, I don't also want us to be. The third point is celebrate your wins. I was reading a book, Making of a Manager, by Julie. She was the former VP of product at Facebook. And she said studies shows that if you write 5 things you are grateful for every day, you are likely to live happier. It's very important that you write down your wins and celebrate them no matter what.
perfect. I loved your 3 bits of advice. Particularly love that analogy of imposter syndrome. The fact that you're facing imposter syndrome because you're at that stage of growth. So actually, you're forever growing, and see it as a turning it into that positive, and that you're on your journey on the way to wherever it is that you're heading to. So thanks for sharing some great advice, some great insights there, and really appreciate you having you on the Elevate Women in Tech show today. I know that I've learned a lot about the whole AI, blockchain, AR, VR, emerging tech space. So really appreciate that, and I'm sure that our listeners would be really happy with the information that you've shared today. For anyone that's looking to
Thank
connect with you, or any final thoughts, what would you like to say just to finish off the episode?
I would just like to say thank you, Kelly, for having me on this podcast. I really enjoyed sharing my knowledge, and I would say anybody that wants to reach out can reach out to me through LinkedIn. You said you will share my LinkedIn with them, so I'm
Yeah,
very much available on LinkedIn. You can reach out if you have any questions, use cases, ask anything about emerging tech. Kelly, thank you, Elevate Women in Tech, for having me on this podcast.
perfect. And that's it from us today at Elevate. Until next time, please do continue to listen to all of our past episodes, and also ensure that you join us next time for more empowering stories and perspectives on women in tech. Thank you very much.